Hello, welcome back. I hope everybody is doing well. Tonight we are going to cover a topic that literally the last two patients I treated were suffering from this, and this is really becoming more prevalent. So it is important that we go ahead and discuss this. I'm Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. Tonight we are going to talk about pain in your neck and shoulder that is radiating down your arm. This is really becoming more and more prevalent as we're finding ourselves in a more seated position, a more sedentary position. And interestingly enough, the two people that I treated back to back tonight that were suffering from this, were suffering from it for kind of two of the opposite reasons. So it's really important that we discuss this, because as you're setting up your desk at home, and we have YouTube videos that discuss that, so check out our YouTube channel, Total Performance Physical Therapy. Check that out to see how you should set up your desk at home. But as you're starting to set up your desk at home, or as we're starting to become more sedentary, these changes and these posture issues and these types of pains are going to start to become more and more and more prevalent. So you need to really be aware of what causes it, how to fix it, how you can actually injure yourself more. So what I mean by pain in the neck and shoulder and it radiating down your arm. So usually what happens is you're going to feel numbness and tingling. The pain can go all the way into your hand. It may stop here. It may go into your elbow. You really can never rule out neck and shoulder pain when you have elbow pain or hand pain. So you really need to make sure that if you have elbow pain, shoulder pain, wrist pain, that you're taking a look at your neck and your shoulder also, because a lot of times people don't get results with physical therapy, and I see them and they're like, oh, I already tried this, it didn't work, but nobody looked at their neck and shoulder because they came in and they said, oh, I have elbow pain. And all anybody did was treat the elbow. A lot of times elbow pain is a sign of something going wrong in the neck and the shoulder. So when I say pain radiating down the arm, it can radiate all the way down into the fingers. It could cause your fingers to go numb and tingle. It can cause weakness in your hand. It can just be pain into the elbow. It can be pain only in the elbow. It can be pain down here. So the pain in the neck and shoulder radiating down the arm is a very broad topic, kind of like sciatica. This is like sciatica for your neck and shoulders, because it doesn't really, this can present in a number of different ways and have a number of different causes. So when you have that pain that's shooting down your arm, could be shooting, could be stabbing, could be numbness, could be dull ache, it is something to pay attention to. This is not like a shake it off type of thing. So if you are experiencing neck and shoulder pain and you've got any pain going into your arm, it is something you need to pay attention to. Do not wait. Do not think it's going to go away. Do not start taking Advil until it goes away. It's only going to get worse. And unfortunately, you can actually lose strength and the ability to grip things in your hand as long as this progresses. So pay attention. Pain that radiates, pain that goes down your leg, pain that goes down your arm is something to pay attention to. Again, causes could be different, but it's not something you want to ignore. So what could be going on when you have neck and shoulder and pain radiating into the arm? So most often that is some type of nerve involvement. So if something's going on that is involving a nerve, it could be a herniated disc. So with our uptick in our phone use, with our laptop use, with our setup at home that may or may not be ergonomically correct, increasing, we're seeing a lot of this type of posture. So this type of posture is how you herniate a disc. When you start to herniate a disc, you start to irritate the nerves. That can cause pain into your arm. That can cause numbness and tingling. That can be the reason why there's pain. It could be also the reason why it goes down your arm. It is not something to ignore. It may not be the only reason why you have that pain, but it certainly can be a contributor. I have to always caveat this with saying that most people in America have been diagnosed with a herniated disc, because it's one of the only things that will show up on an imaging study. So if you have an x-ray or an MRI, not so much an x-ray, but an MRI, you're going to find that a lot of times you'll be diagnosed with a herniated disc or a bulging disc. That's not uncommon. Doesn't mean that that's causing the pain. It may, but don't always automatically think that, oh, I just have a herniated disc, it's going to be surgery. You know, this is kind of like the snowball that happens when anybody gets an MRI report or anybody's doctor writes bulging disc, herniated disc. It's like, oh, it's surgery, I can't be helped, I'm not going to do anything about it. Most of the time when that herniated disc shows up on an x-ray or shows up on an MRI, it has nothing to do with why you actually have pain or why you actually have numbness and tingling going down your arm. It's just what showed up on the x-ray, on the MRI, excuse me, I keep saying x-ray, but it's going to show up on the MRI. So don't just take that for face value. There's a lot of things that go on between here and here that can be causing that. So it's just a very easy thing to say, oh, you have a herniated disc, but it may or may not be the case. But if you're someone that finds yourself in this posture, very well could be a herniated disc, and it very well could be causing radiating signs and symptoms. So the other thing that could also be happening is there can be compensation, and there can be some bone involvement, meaning you can have some first ribs, or some of your ribs can be out of place because you're always like this or you're always like this. So the difficulty with the neck and the shoulder is that there's so many nerves that come out here and they go down the arm and they go underneath your armpit and they're weaving and winding their way in and out of muscles, that as the muscles get tight, it's very easy for that nerve to become trapped. It's very easy for that nerve to become aggravated. And when a nerve becomes aggravated, it starts to send shooting pain down your arm. It starts to send numbness and tingling. It starts to send signals that something's not okay. A lot of times what will happen is people will notice if they reset, if they stand up, if they shake it out, if you will, it'll go away. Well, what happened was, that's a better sign that there's muscle involvement, because when you shake it out or you move around, you wind up opening up some of that area where that nerve can be coming entrapped. If you're just sitting here like this, or you're sitting at your computer and you don't move very much, that nerve's going to start to get pinched. It's going to start to become entrapped in the muscles, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's underneath your armpit. And that irritation will cause that numbness and tingling, will cause that shooting pain to go down your arm. So when you shake it out or when you move around and you notice, oh, hey, like it's gone, it didn't go anywhere, you just changed your position. So whether you have a herniated disc, whether it's muscle involvement, first of all, it's very important that you get this treated, you find out the cause, and you get it taken care of. It is not something that you want to ignore. I'm going to show you some things that you can do at home to start relaxing some of this, but I highly recommend that you go in and you see somebody. We will give you a free consultation. All you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898. But this is not one of those things where I say, okay, just do a couple things at home and see how that goes, and then maybe come in 2 weeks later. If you've got neck and shoulder pain and it is radiating, you need to see somebody. You need to be in here now. And not just somebody, you need to be here right now. So let's talk about what we can do at home immediately. So posture is always the first thing. And when I said at the beginning of the video that when we had somebody come in tonight with, you know, the numbness and the tingling or the radiating pain, and one was here for one reason and one was here for the exact opposite. The one was here because they were very much like this, very much on their phone. This was the posture that they had presented it. We talked about it, looking at workstations. This is how they sat. So they were really herniating a disc. It's more muscle involvement, but there was a lot of nerve involvement because of this posture. The second person, on the other hand, was here because they recognized that they were in this posture and they completely overcorrected. So their shoulders were like this, causing their shoulders to be elevated. That causes all of this to tighten up, which will then cause the nerves to fire that pain, discomfort, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is, down the arm. So you don't want to overcorrect and you don't want to be like this. So when you talk about posture, you want to roll your shoulders up, back, and you want to drop them down. This is how you should be. Not like this and not like this. This is also a very stressful time for a lot of people. So when I say you need to roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down, you literally have to drop them down. Most people are walking around like this because they're stressed out, lots of things going on, lots of unknown, and you're winding up and your shoulders are up near your ears. Now this is a gross exaggeration of how your shoulders look, but if you just say put your shoulders down, I bet most of you will find that your shoulders will lower somewhat, meaning you are holding your shoulders in an improper posture. You should never be able to think, oh, I gotta lower my shoulders, and then have your shoulders drop. They should be naturally dropped. Not all the way down here dropped, but they should be dropped. I can't push my shoulders any lower. At no point in the day should you be able to push your shoulders any lower. So when you're setting up your workstation, when you're at home and you're cooking, when you're watching TV, no matter what it is, this is the posture you want to have. Up, back, and drop them down. This is not work. So if you feel like, oh, between my shoulder blades is burning, means you're overcorrecting, means you're squeezing everything together, means you're working too hard. You want to really make sure that you back that down into just roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down. It is easy to get into this posture. It's hard to stay there because you're going to want to go back to this, and you're going to want to go back to this. But you really want to make sure that you are rolling your shoulders up, back, and dropping them down. Now, I'm not going to give you any further exercises because of the fact that you've got to figure out where that nerve is being irritated. Is it being irritated from this? Is it being irritated from the neck? Is it being irritated from the shoulder? I generally will give you a few pointers, but I'm very serious about not letting this go, not missing the boat on this, not putting this off for 2 weeks, not just taking steroids and say it's going to calm everything down, because it's not. So watch your posture. It's the first thing we're going to talk about when you come in here, but it's really important that you make sure you change the posture. Change your workstation so that you're able to sit like this, and you're not like this on your laptop. If you are experiencing neck, shoulder, arm pain, anything radiating down your arm or your leg, and you want a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898, and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks, and have a good night.